Instead of budgeting based on what I thought I was spending, I budgeted based on the truth. That one step made my whole budget more accurate and, honestly, more freeing. So if you've never done a spending analysis before, don't skip it. It's one of the most empowering things you can do. Hey there, friends, and welcome back to the Steward's Way. I'm Jacob, and around here, we're learning how to follow Jesus in our finances and walk in freedom with the money God has entrusted to us. This podcast is all about giving people the confidence to walk into their financial lives with hope and joy, knowing that where they are is not where they have to stay, and that where they're going is worth all the work it takes to get there. If this is your first time listening, welcome! I'm so glad you're here. In the first few episodes of the Steward's Way, we've been laying the foundation for how we see and use money from a biblical perspective. Today, we're turning the corner from mindset to method. We're getting practical. We're talking about how to actually build a budget from zero, step by step, whether you've never budgeted before or you've tried and failed a few times. I want you to know this. You can do this. You don't have to be good at math. You don't have to be rich. You just need a plan and a willingness to start. But first, can we be honest for a second? The word budget can feel intimidating or restrictive, but a budget isn't a prison, it's a plan. And plans give you knowledge. And knowledge is power. So with your newfound power, you get to tell your money where to go. The beauty of budgeting is that you get to spend and save with confidence, not wondering whether you can afford something, but knowing you planned for it. Budgeting is not about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to what matters most. Let's look at a few types of budgets people use because not every method works for each person. Number 1, the 50-30-20 budget. 50% for needs like rent, groceries, bills, 30% for wants, fun, hobbies, extras, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. It's simple and good for people who want flexibility without tracking every dollar. This was the first type of budget I ever used. The pros. It's easy to start and stick with, especially if you're new to budgeting. The cons. It might not be great if you're in a season of financial struggle or debt payoff. You may need to save more aggressively or cut down on wants. Number 2, the envelope system. This is a cash-based system where you physically divide your money into envelopes labeled for each spending category. Once the envelope is empty, you're done spending. It's great for people who need help with self-control or tend to overspend. The pros. It helps prevent overspending by creating hard limits for each category. The cons. It can be inconvenient in a digital world. Harder to use with online payments or automatic bills. Number 3, the pay yourself first budget. With this strategy, you set aside your saving or giving first, then spend what's left. This is perfect for people who want to make sure they're building wealth or giving consistently. The pros. Prioritizes your long-term goals and values right away. The cons, it can be risky if you underestimate your essential expenses and run out of money before the end of the month. That's the last thing we want to happen. Number 4, the zero-based budget, our focus for today. With this method, every dollar you earn gets a job. Your income minus your expenses, giving and saving, equals 0. On paper. It doesn't mean your bank account hits 0, just that you've planned where every dollar is going, even if that dollar's job is savings. The pros. It gives you the most control and clarity over your money. The cons. It requires more time and effort to track everything consistently, but the payoff is worth it. I personally use a combination of the envelope system and the zero-based budget. I like the mix of the envelope system's accountability and the zero-based budget's accuracy. Out of all of these, the zero-based budget is the one I recommend to anyone starting from scratch, especially if you want to be intentional with every dollar. The zero-based budget is simple, it's customizable, and super effective at helping you take control. So, let's dig in how to actually build one. I'm going to break down a simple 5-step plan to build a zero-based budget. Remember, simple does not mean easy, just simple. There are a lot of emotions tied to money, so most money decisions are not easy, but they can be simple. So, step 1, know your monthly income. Add up all the money you expect to make this month, your paychecks, side gigs, family support, whatever it is. To get the best results with a zero-based budget, you need to know how much you're bringing in, your net income. Net income is the amount of money you actually take home after taxes and other deductions are taken out of your paycheck. It's what hits your bank account, not what your employer says you earned on paper. So, if you get paid $1,000, but $200 of it goes to taxes and benefits, your net income is $800. That's the number you want to build your budget around, because that's the money you actually have to work with. If your income is irregular, just use the average of your 3 lowest months. It's better to under budget and have extra than to over budget and to come up short. Step 2, do a spending analysis before you build your budget. You need to know where your money has been going. Look at the last 1 to 3 months of spending, bank statements, receipts, card transactions, and categorize everything. I recommend doing 3 months to get the clearest picture. Ask yourself, how much did I spend on eating out, on subscriptions, on random stuff? This isn't about shame, it's about clarity. You can't build a solid plan without knowing the truth. Let me tell you a quick story of my own life, because this whole process of doing a spending analysis really opened my eyes. I thought I had a pretty good handle on where my money was going, and if you'd asked me, I would have said, yeah, I'm spending about $100 a month on eating out, maybe $50 a month on subscriptions, and $200 on gas. That all felt reasonable. But then I looked at my bank statements for the past 3 months. I totaled up all my restaurant stops, fast food runs, and coffee shop visits. And when I got hit with the truth, I wasn't spending $100 eating out. I was spending closer to $250. Subscriptions? That harmless $50 was actually $125. Spotify, Netflix, Amazon Prime, random apps. It added up. And gas? I had guessed $200, but it was only $75 because I hadn't been driving as much as I thought. It shocked me. My perception didn't match reality at all, but I didn't beat myself up. I used that information to build a better budget. Instead of budgeting based on what I thought I was spending, I budgeted based on the truth. That one step made my whole budget more accurate and, honestly, more freeing. So if you've never done a spending analysis before, don't skip it. It's one of the most empowering things you can do. Step 3, list your fixed and variable expenses. Now that you've done your spending analysis, this should be pretty easy. Take your totals and label each of them as fixed, stays the same every month, rent, insurance, subscriptions, or variable, changes from month to month, groceries, gas, eating out. Step 4, give every dollar a job. Start allocating your income into each category, beginning with the essentials: giving, rent or mortgage, utilities, food, transportation, insurance. Then move to savings, debt payments, and fun or extras. Budgeting for savings can be a little bit tricky because it doesn't always show up as a negative in your spending because the money doesn't actually disappear. It stays in your bank account. So when you're saving, that's what I was talking about earlier, about your bank account doesn't actually hit zero. You're just budgeting every dollar down to zero. So if you're saving $200, that money doesn't disappear. It's just in your savings account and it's allocated to there and it's in your budget. The piece of knowing everything is accounted for huge. Every dollar should be told where to go until you hit zero. Step 5. Track and adjust weekly. A budget is a living plan, not a one-time event. Check in weekly. Are you sticking to it? Do you need to tweak anything? This is your budget. It should reflect your real life, your real goals. Grace and consistency go hand in hand here. Grace to adjust when things change, consistency to keep showing up anyway. And that's it. 5 simple steps to start taking back control of your financial life. If this sounds like a lot, take a breath. You don't have to do it perfectly. You're learning, and that's a win. The goal isn't to become a financial robot. The goal is to become a faithful steward. God doesn't expect perfection. He invites us into obedience and trust. I've blown the budget before. A few months ago, I totally forgot about a yearly subscription to YouTube Premium because I decided to pause it instead of canceling it. You know, when you go to cancel, like, you want to pause for 6 months instead of canceling? I did that. But then it hit my account. It messed up all my numbers. I felt frustrated and annoyed, but God reminded me, I'm not judged by my budget. I'm learning to be faithful, and that includes learning through failure. Let me leave you with this. You can build a budget that reflects your values, your goals, and your faith. You don't have to stay stuck or overwhelmed. If you're ready to begin, I've got you. In the description, there is a basic zero-based budget starter worksheet. Just fill in the blanks and boom, you've started your budget. Not a pen and paper person? There are great apps for zero-based budgeting. I recommend Every Dollar and Good Budget. Your action step for this week. Do a spending analysis. Look where your money went the last month. Then write down your first zero-based budget on paper in a spreadsheet or using an app. And don't do it alone. If you're stuck or have questions, send me a message, DM me on social media. I'd love to help. If this episode helped you, share it with a friend or leave a review. It helps more people find hope and clarity with their money. Next week, we're talking about how everything we have, including our bank account, belongs to God, and how we can trust Him as our ultimate provider. Until then, the best way to win at finances is to show up. Little decisions over the long run make a big impact. See you next time.